A packaged half a gumball? Now that's crazy! Just like today's game, Crazy Climber for your Atari 2600, which, according to the label art, is about a guy who's getting highly annoyed at a gigantic mutant turkey that's trying to take his nice purple tie. Let's go ahead and take Crazy Climber, pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro system, and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Get away from my tie! Crazy Climber was published by Atari and carries the copyright year of 1983. It was based on the 1980 Nihon Bussan arcade game, which I probably just mispronounced, programmed for the 2600 by Alex Levins, who also programmed a 2600 version of Gorf. Crazy Climber was one of 4 games that were made available as mail-away only exclusives for the Atari Club, making this a pretty rare game. According to the manual, you are a building climbing daredevil who's been nicknamed by residents the Crazy Climber. Your climbing has also drawn the attention of a crazy guy called the Mad Doctor, who is constantly dropping objects from above trying to stop your climbing. Now the residents are complaining about all the disruptions your climbing is causing, including not being able to get any sleep. So you're going to play a public nuisance. Great. Now the police have blocked off the streets with a helicopter waiting at the top of a building you're climbing. Crazy Climber is a climbing game for 1 or 2 players alternating. The game has 4 buildings with increasing difficulty and allows you to start at either of the 4. There's also novice mode that starts you at the first building, and you can't fall unless a window closes on both hands or you're electrocuted by an electric sign more than 11 times, which is very realistic. When the difficulty switches into A position, your climber will move slower and have a harder time grasping ledges than when it's in the B position. You start the game with 5 lives, and when you fall, you lose a life. However, you will start back where you left off, sometimes with some of the obstacles in that area removed, making it easier to progress. To control your character, you press left or right when your arms are either straight up or down to move likewise, up to reach a new ledge, and down to pull yourself up to the new ledge. Repeating the up and down movement will help you climb quicker, but you can never move back down. When climbing, you can only climb up windows with an opening. It is possible for windows to close on your hands. If a window only closes on one hand, you will stay safe as long as you stay still until it opens again. If a window closes on both hands, or if you try to move while a window is closed on one hand, you will fall. Occasionally, the Mad Doctor will show up throwing flower pots, fruit baskets, and buckets of water on you. If you are hit, you'll lose 100 points, but if both hands are firmly planted on a ledge, you won't fall. There's also a condor that will try to drop eggs on you, so this condor probably won't be winning any Parent of the Year awards. Once again, you lose 100 points if the egg hits you, but if your arms are straight and firmly planted, you won't fall. There are also falling girders that will cause you to fall if they hit you no matter what, along with costing you 100 points, and electric signs that are out of code with flailing wires that'll cost you 100 points per hit and cause you to fall down if you get hit enough. When you reach the top of the building, you will have 30 seconds to grab the runner of a helicopter to earn bonus points that are shown on the top of the screen and count down throughout the gameplay. But since bail is apparently pretty low, whether you grab the helicopter or not, you will go to the next building. Climb all 4 buildings successfully and the game simply loops back to the first one. Point-wise, you get 100 points per row you pass on the first building, 200 points per row on the second, 300 points per row on the third, and 400 points per row on the fourth building. The bonus meter starts at 100,000 points for the first building and increases 100,000 points per building, with the fourth building offering 400,000 bonus points in total. Graphically speaking, I thought the characters and objects looked nice, but I found the buildings pretty bland, with the second level red building actually being a little hard on my eyes. Sound and music-wise, for the most part, everything is just okay, except for the opening jingle before each building, which I thought was great. And the game is fairly family-friendly, except for the fact that your character is breaking the law of being a public nuisance and risking his life just for a little attention. At the time of my research on eBay, loose copies were going for $50 to $75 a piece, and complete copies were going for $200 to $250, including shipping. So what did I think of Crazy Climber? Well, overall the game controls pretty well once you get used to the unique setup, but there were times when it seemed my climber failed to climb to a ledge for no apparent reason, not to mention some circumstances when, due to the randomness of the closing windows, there was simply no way to avoid falling. And grabbing the helicopter was a little hit or miss, as you can't move much to catch it, yet there was a time when I caught an invisible part of the runner. However, my biggest gripe with the game is it just grew so monotonous, climbing one row after another on these very tall, bland-looking buildings. Sometimes it just felt like the buildings would never end, and slowly climbing identical-looking rows almost caused me to feel drowsy. Climbing is an okay element to be a part of a video game, but personally I don't think it should be the sole part of a video game. At least it didn't work for me in this case. So where am I going to rank Crazy Climber? As you can probably guess, it's not going to reach the roof this time, and honestly, it's not going to be able to climb up high much at all. I will give it an edge over Thunderground at 77, but I would rather play Lost Luggage at 76. So out of the 92 games I've now ranked on the 2600, Crazy Climber will be climbing into the 77 position. Crazy Climber is only recommended to fans of the arcade game. So what do you think of Crazy Climber on the 2600? Whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/NoSirGamer for more information. I'm also a member of the Retro Junkies Network. You can find more retro podcasts and videos at theretrojunkies.com. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Sir Gamer. Take care and try not to be a public nuisance.